Hello! Welcome back to the channel, guys. We have our ceramic coffee mug that I made. This was one of my first mugs that I ever made. Very cute. It's a bubble mug. I just have water in this today because it's already 5 o'clock and I'm trying to film this, but I'm so excited for today's video. I've been kind of working through a backlog of different ideas I've been having for my social media that I really haven't gotten to. And now that we're finally almost settled in with our apartment, I wanted to sit down and do this one because I love Pinterest, and then 2, I love home decor and design in general. But James is also gone this week, so there's no like couples content, and I just thought it would be nice for us to like sit down and chat. I promise you it'll be fun. Even though James is not here, I know he's more fun. He's the fun one in the relationship. Also, if you're new here, hello, I'm Sarah. I'm a ceramics artist, and my boyfriend and I just moved into this 1-bedroom Manhattan loft, but it's looking much better. Okay, last episode I got a comment that was so mean. I screenshotted it, but I think they either deleted it or some of you guys commented and reported it, which was very nice of you guys. But now that we're more settled in and things are unpacked and unboxed, I kind of wanted to move more into intentional design and setup of the home. But for reference, I've been living in New York City for so many years at this point. This was my first New York City apartment. It was a flex 1-bedroom apartment converted into a 2-bedroom. And that first apartment was pretty much an eclectic mix of things that we could find. Like, I was always on Facebook Marketplace. My first cabinet was actually a partial component of the Calyx shelf that we broke down to use half as like a TV console and then partially as just this like flimsy little shelf space for me. And then I had just a $10 hanging rack in my room as my closet, and then a bed frame that I lugged all the way across Manhattan on my back, or I guess on my shoulders,
and then realized it was the wrong one, so then I had to sell it.
And this is our latest apartment. It has been such an upgrade from every single apartment that we've been in, me and my boyfriend, and it has just been through the years like a slow, steady upgrade to get to here. So I just wanted to say, no Nepo baby allegations here, okay? By the way, the apartment is much cleaner now, so I'm gonna try to like pop up what the apartment looks like right now. And I think we made the most progress in the last 2 weeks. So after my last video that I posted where we were settling in, we cleaned up a ton. I don't know if you can see, but we also installed this curtain, and that is helping tremendously with hiding the office clutter. Okay. By the way, this is going to be an outline of the video, and feel free to jump around. But if I forget to add the chapters in the video so you can jump around easily, please comment in the video in all caps, "Sarah, you forgot to chapter," with a monster face. Cool. So this is my Pinterest, and actually this is the only public Pinterest board that I have right now. I've actually been using Pinterest very privately the last couple of years, so all of my Pinterest boards are private. I think I have like 20 different Pinterest boards for different parts of my life. This is an example Pinterest board that I have that I started when I started my podcast, and kind of just to get a feel for what I wanted the podcast cover and style, color palette to be. This is the Pinterest board that I wanted to show you guys, which is the Dream Apartment Pinterest board that I started putting together. Some of these sections don't have that many pins yet, but I wanted to like develop this as I kept building out my home. I noticed that my preferences and tastes keep changing and evolving over the years, so sometimes the pins that I pinned like 3 years ago do not apply anymore. But yeah, let's go through it. I don't know if we have enough time to go through all of these pins that I have, but today I wanted to kind of start off with like the aesthetic of the home and kind of my design philosophy that I've been leaning more into recently, which I guess we can start with the woods. This is something that I think has changed and evolved for me over the past couple of years, which is my taste in woods and wood tones specifically. I really, really love the look of deep, warm toned woods like this one. I would maybe call this like a walnut. I feel like this is deep but a little bit cool toned. I do appreciate cool toned woods, but I also do feel like warm toned woods tend to bring out more life and character in a home. Don't quote me on that. But something that I really love, and we're not going to do this because this is a rental apartment, but eventually I do want to have like a whole wall of just wood paneling or a wood closet. If I did own this home, I would have actually turned this section, you can see that we have a curtain over here, I would have actually turned this into a wood paneled closet all along that side of the wall, and then maybe created like a headboard that connected to the closet. I think when I first started getting into apartment decor and design, I really leaned towards like light colors. Even this desk that I'm working on right now, it's oak. And not that I think there's anything wrong with light colored woods, but I do feel like it was a byproduct of the whole Japandi era, like Scandinavian style of home decor. And so as a result, I think I just like filled up all of my home with light woods. One thing that used to be so confusing for me is mixing woods. So I used to think that if you filled up your home with different wood furniture, that they should all be in the same color. So like an oak coffee table would match best with oak stools or an oak bench. Actually, this is a great time to point out that we did get a new bed frame. That's the Thuma Classic bed frame, and it's in the color walnut, and you can see that it actually is a different color than our floors. So going back to the conversation about mixing woods, I actually recently learned that it is okay to mix dark woods with light woods as long as they are in the same tone. So a lot of warm tone woods actually pair well with other warm tone woods. So a walnut and an oak pair very nicely because they have that like yellow undertone. And I'm gonna cite my sources because I learned this through a TikTok. So there's this home and lifestyle creator named Sarah who not me. There's a home and lifestyle creator named Sarah who talked about this recently, and I'm actually going to link it down below if you want to see the full video. She talks in depth about like how you should actually mix and pair your woods, but I found it really insightful. This is a really good diagram to take a look at if we're talking about like mixing wood tones. I think this is where you get your like millennial gray, which I actually added in my no section. And so you can see the millennial gray. I don't know if I ever liked millennial gray, but it might just come back into season because you know that like 20-year rule where things come back into popularity after 20 years. Yeah, I wonder if this is gonna come back. Oh yeah, this is also a pro tip for my renters out there like us. One of the things that I find kind of hard sometimes that I have been more aware of nowadays is when I go apartment hunting to actually look at what color the floors are, because it would make or break whether or not the furniture would look nice. So one of the things that I noticed is we have this like green rug. I'll pop it up right here. It's a dupe of the dune rug that we got 2 apartments ago, so we've had it for a couple of years. But when we got it, the floor that we had was closer to this colored floor, maybe a little bit lighter. This would be so beautiful with dark hardwood floor because then the contrast with the light green would look so good. So the green against the light wood, I think it was like an oak shade, looked really bad because it kind of just washed out the color of the rug. And so I got a lot of comments when we first installed that where people were saying this looks like puke. And I don't disagree. But then when we moved to our apartment after that, the green actually looked incredibly nice. So that is why we picked out this color, which is oat, on the Thuma website when we were picking out the bed frame. But in general, I feel like I've been leaning more towards darker colors. And so if we go back to my Pinterest board, recently I saw Tony Bravo's video where she was showcasing her apartment, and I think it is such a beautiful apartment. Also, I love her and her content, but I really love the idea of having rich wall colors, whether it's like wallpaper or wood backsplashes or lime washed walls or even like tiled walls. Like this is a really beautiful tiled wall that is both decorative and also functional because it is in the bathroom and it's protecting the walls. I feel like you should not quote me on a lot of this video. Oh my god, also I really love the color pink, and James, well, he's colorblind so he can't see pink that well, but I think one of my dreams whenever we do actually own a home together is to actually have a pink room. And I know Tony Bravo has one in her apartment too, which I feel like it might just be like the same aesthetic and style. I've had this pinned for like 2 years now, and I love the idea of a pink lime wash, but also like a deep olive green lime wash like right here. And one thing I used to be really scared of is using color in my apartment because I didn't understand home decor, and not like I understand home decor that much more, but I felt like I didn't know what would look good, and so things like this would scare me off. And now that I'm older and I have like seen more apartments and also just seen more like Architectural Digest, I feel like white is so lifeless and stale, but unfortunately we do rent, and so I can't do anything about the white walls here, but I do have it on my wish list for a future apartment that hopefully I can own with James, that we are able to paint the walls. I think because I'm still developing my taste in things, I don't know how much I would actually have a home that's so colorful like some of these ones, but the general trend and theme that I've been gravitating towards is just having more contrast. And I think a lot of the times when you have deeper, richer colors in your home, you open up the space to having more contrast. So even if you look at how the green goes against this deeper, darker wood, it stands out so much more than if you look at how green stands out in like a beige home. So that's something that I've been more conscientious about. And we do have pops of color. So if you look behind, we have like an orange sofa with an orange pillow on it. The only thing is, because everything is so white and stale right now, that actually does pop out a little bit more than I would want it to. But just like imagine wood paneling in the back, a nice wooden closet all along here, and then blue or pink sheets over there. Probably not pink. And then this orange couch, I just feel like it would fit so much better. Let's see what it looks like if I search up orange couch. If you look at all these pins with like orange couches, I feel like there's a lot more warmth in the home. And right now you can tell our home's a little cool toned. I don't know if it's because of the paint. It might be because the paint is a little bit cool toned, but there's a lot of green that complements orange as well. I actually really love the look of this. Oh my God, I always like go into Pinterest with an objective and then I end up scrolling for so many different things. I think I have like 1,000 pins for hair color. Okay, two colors I've never experimented with in my home is blue and red. I do have this giant canvas that I haven't painted that I got last year to paint as decor for the home. It is literally the size of me. It's like 5 foot tall. I'm 5'3". But I haven't painted it yet, and a part of me wants to do like a one giant color painting, kind of like this one, and I've seen people do it with like red and blue. Even this is really beautiful. And I'm really scared though, because I feel like right now our living room doesn't have so much cohesion because we have so many things that we carried over from previous apartments, and so it's a little bit of an eclectic mix right now. But I'm really scared that if I add just a giant blue painting in the backdrop, that it's gonna stand out a little bit too much. But maybe I should try it, and if I don't like it, I can paint it back. Something I've been really loving on Pinterest is actually these like color palette photos. I don't even know what you would call it, but there's a lot of people that do like pairings, like color pairings, and I find it so inspiring for the home because a lot of these like color pairings work really well for clothing, outfits, but also home decor. Hello guys, I wanted to quickly jump in and say thank you to Bilt for sponsoring today's video. For those of you who don't know about Bilt, let me put you on them. They are the rewards program for your home that rewards you with points for every single rent or mortgage payment wherever you live. It's actually really cool because these points can be redeemed for anything from flights and hotel stays with top travel partners, Amazon.com purchases, Lyft rides, fitness classes, and so much more. And also with their neighborhood concierge service, which every single Bilt member has access to. You'll have exclusive benefits connected to your home and local merchants, so it takes action and gets things done for you while seamlessly applying eligible member benefits and rewards along the way with over 45,000 partners across the country. Some things that the neighborhood concierge can do, including but not limited to paying your rent or mortgage when you tell it to, arranging grocery deliveries, booking flights and hotels, and so much more. So it knows your neighborhood and gets better over time as you share your preferences with it. So to learn more, you can click the link in my description to let them know that I sent you, and thank you so much to Bilt for sponsoring today's video. Before we moved in, I started this curtain section where I wanted to add different ideas for curtains. And you can probably think like, oh, curtains are so simple. You just get curtains and you install it. But there's so many things to think about. So one style of curtain that I was really interested in is this panel type of curtain. And I think it's called Norin curtains, if I'm not mistaken. It's a Japanese style of curtain. It feels almost like a true divider, which some of these curtains, if you look at how they sit, it's a little more airy. I also like that for these curtains, you can use it as kind of a decorative piece as well. So a lot of these have images on it, and I think when James was putting together some pins into our Pinterest board, I actually added it in here. But he had these ones where it's like you can create different embellishments, you can embroider, you can create paintings, you can add color to your room. And that was actually a project that James wanted to work on because he made stained glass curtains for our old bathroom. So maybe he will make one for this apartment right here. But the other type of curtain is just like more traditional pleated curtains, like the ones that we ended up installing. And I think that was actually easier to find because IKEA just has so many, and we got these from IKEA for like $30. But I was going between how transparent I wanted the curtain to be. I think the more translucent the fabric, the more airy the room feels. One of the big inspirations I had was this one, which I believe I saw this on TikTok, and I also found it on Pinterest. And I don't know who this creator is, but I got really inspired because she used it to kind of like cover up all her clutter in her closet, which I think is like a very strategic way if you don't have the money or the home because you're renting to actually install dividers and actual closets. You can use it to just like create a pseudo closet. Okay, one thing I've also seen before is people hanging paintings in the middle of their curtain, and I think that is so cool and chic. I might do that at some point here because I do think this wall is a little bit bland, but I think that's such a creative, cool way of like using space and creating contrast with a flat painting and then a pleated or textured like backdrop. This was one that I think James had pinned onto his own board, but it's really cool how you can actually use curtains and fabrics to create and carve out spaces. So this creates like this pseudo room in the middle of a room, but some people do that with their beds. You can add art. Whoa, this is so cool. On a tangent, I also love the idea of being able to pin up notes and designs and drawings and sketches, photos and things like that on like a metallic board. I don't know exactly where to get a metallic board like that, but I do know IKEA has these types of like fabric panels. Oh my god, I'm going down like the Pinterest rabbit hole. On this topic, something else I wanted to talk about is using furniture as art. So personally for me, a lot of the times I used to think about home decor as the artwork that I put in the home. So that could be like a vase that I buy, like a decorative piece, a lamp or something like that. An idea I've been kind of like entertaining more recently is using the more practical furniture pieces as actual art pieces. And so actually I went down this rabbit hole because I started looking at vanities, and as I've been exploring vanities, I've been realizing how ugly affordable vanities are. I'm so sorry. I just don't like the desk looking shape of general vanities. And I've been going down this rabbit hole because I keep seeing vanities on Pinterest that look so good, and look at how pretty these are. I'm especially in love with this sort of, I think it's called like a waterfall vanity. And I've learned that if you want to find a vanity like this, you look up Art Deco vanity and a lot of these pop up. But a lot of them are like older vintage vanities, and some of them are a little bit more like worn down. I think some places do sell refurbished versions of it, so I might dive into that a little bit more. But anyways, going back to this idea that furniture can be art, I've been pinning these really cool designs, and I'm not gonna lie, I think most of these are out of my tax bracket right now. But I think it's so cool if you're able to incorporate art into the things that you place into your home for functional reasons. I think this is just like a dresser or cabinet. Even this is an example of what I'm saying, where functional pieces can be turned into art. It's literally a top and pants. Isn't that so cute? And I think there's different ways that your furniture can be art. So a lot of these that I have pinned down here are structural. So through the structural design, I actually don't know if this is AI, but a lot of the really beautiful wood furniture that I have pinned have this like structural element where the art is in the form. So the way that the mirror is shaped and the way that the wood's carved. But I also really like the idea of using prints and patterns, and I had this pinned, it was so funny to me. But yeah, just using visuals and graphics as another way of turning your furniture into art. A lot of these are like graphics-based designs. Some other things I've seen are texture, although this is semi-structural, semi-textural. Even something like plants and floral arrangements can be used as decorative pieces, and I feel like this is more straightforward. I think in the past, a lot of my home decor decisions were built off of just practicality, functionality, and honestly what was most affordable. I still value a lot of those things, but I do want to have more intentionality just behind like the choices that I make. So instead of just going on Wayfair and buying the first vanity that seems most affordable, I've actually been very patient in the search and going on like Facebook Marketplace. But I think going into this era of my life, I want intentionality to be at the forefront of how I kind of like craft my space, and also myself, like my own life and what I do. When I'm looking at pieces that I'm interested in, I'm thinking about balance and how it fits into the whole theme of my home. I'm thinking about approachability and how usable it is for me on a day-to-day basis. For example, I think there's two types of beds that Thuma has. It's like the classic bed, which has space underneath, and then you also have the essential bed that they sell, which is more enclosed, and so there's no gaps at the bottom. And so originally I actually gravitated towards the essential bed because I think it looks really sleek and beautiful, but I also realized that we live in a one-bedroom apartment that also serves as our office right now, and so I wanted to leverage that space underneath the cabinets. And so we actually got drawers under the cabinets that we can fit in there. But when I look at all the home choices that I've made in the past, sometimes I kind of just like took on things that I didn't really need. Another part of my design philosophy and the whole idea of intentionality is also being patient. So when I first moved into my apartment with James, I think I took up things as quickly as they came. So if we needed a coffee table, I'd search for a coffee table, buy it day of, and then we'd get it like the next couple of days. And for certain like essentials, you definitely do need to do that. Like you should get towels if you're missing towels. I think a lot of good things take time, and so having patience around the non-essentials is really important when it comes to like curating a home. So I'm trying to be less impatient because I tend to be a sort of impatient person. I always want instant gratification, which doesn't always happen if you're trying to curate and develop. Okay, another sub component of intentionality is actually prioritizing comfort, because for a period of time I would prioritize only the aesthetics of things. I remember one of the first couches that I ever got, I got because it looked good and not because it felt good to sit on. And as I've gotten older and things hurt more, like my back, I've been realizing that the investments that you make into really nice feeling furniture on top of good quality furniture is really important. And so one of the biggest investments was actually my pillows. So I had been dealing with like chronic back, I still am actually. I've been dealing with chronic back and neck pain for many years now. And as I was trying to figure out what was helpful for me in this journey, I actually made the investment into co-op or coop pillows, which a lot of people recommend on like Reddit, and people gave me that recommendation online as well. But once I made that investment, I realized it was really worth it, because that pillow is literally life-changing, not sponsored. It has helped me so much because you can adjust the filling, you can also like move it around. It's very like malleable compared to other pillows. And I think the optional nice to have that I'm leaning more into in the longer term is using my furniture as art. And so that whole Pinterest pin section that I showed you guys. So instead of going out and specifically just buying decorative art pieces, I really want our furniture to look and feel like art as well. So yeah, I do think this video is running long though, so I think I'm gonna end it here today. Let me know if you guys want a part 2. I would love to convert this to a series. And honestly, a lot of this is just my personal taste and personal philosophies around design and home. So let me know if you agree or if you disagree with some of the things that I showed. Thank you guys for joining me on today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video, probably a vlog. All right.